I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Welcome to Let It Fly Show. Let It Fly Show inside of the Let It Fly Sports Bar in the Capital District. I am Michael Severe, joined by my partner who keeps touching his microphone, Josh Jones.
Yeah, I gotta get right.
From Central, 3-time state champion, and also Creighton Blue Jay as well. And as he mentioned last week, they also won one or two conference championships in the Missouri Valley. Two of them. Two conference championships in the Metro Valley. If you're looking for Missouri Valley, not the Metro Valley, the Metro Conference was the conference when I grew up. You had Tulane and you had Virginia Tech.
All right.
That was a good conference, boy.
Yeah.
They were fun. Anyway, that's a long time ago. If you're looking for an upscale sports bar, there's only one choice, and it's here.
Yep.
And it's because of all the TVs. It's because of the great food and the atmosphere as well.
Hey, when I was walking up here, somebody was food that came out, and I was just staring at it.
No,
it was an awkward moment, bro.
Don't stare at somebody's food like that.
It was awkward, dog. I'm hungry, man.
They'd be like,
hungry.
I'm always hungry. Like, you want to taste this? You want some? You want some?
Yeah, but they had a nice Let It Fly burger. Oh, you know, and I was like, man, I need that when I'm off of this.
So is that your pick for this week? What's your pick for this week?
Let It Fly burger.
Let It Fly burger.
That's my pick. Yeah,
I had Let It Fly burger last week as my pick. This week for me is something that's served on the brunch menu.
Okay.
Or the game day menu.
Yeah.
Or the regular menu.
The game day has been popping.
The game day is big.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at something called the 1 pound loaded double stack.
Oh, man.
It is 2 8-ounce burgers, 2 slices of American cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, Let It Fly sauce served with house fries. This thing is giant.
It is.
It's $25 with the fries. It is what I have picked for my favorite dish this week. Want to tell you what's coming up?
Yeah, tell me what's going on.
So we're taping this on Thursday. Obviously, there's Thursday night football.
Yep.
When you start hearing this on Friday, you can come Friday night. Creighton versus Butler in volleyball.
Yep.
And Nebraska versus number 21 Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's an 8 o'clock start. And then on Saturday, Nebraska at Louisiana Tech, 2:30 start. And then you also have Creighton's playing, I believe, too, but not on TV. And then, of course, on Sunday, you got your watch parties.
Right.
Come out and you watch pro football, have fun with that. If you want to come out Saturday morning, you can also watch College Game Day here, watch all the college games, and, of course, watch Nebraska play at 2:30 against Louisiana Tech.
Hey, I think this is the year that Nebraska volleyball wins it all. There's no way you can play in front of 92,003 people and not have that in your heart the rest of the season.
And the way they took care of Stanford.
Yes.
And the way they've taken care of everybody. I think they've only lost 2 sets.
Right.
2 sets so far this year.
That's true. Now, that don't mean they won't get tested once, but I'd rather them lose now than lose when it counts.
It was like last year was the year that many people thought, because it was back here in Omaha again, they thought last year was the year. Didn't work out. Now they're younger, but they're better.
For sure.
They're so fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
They are so much fun to watch. Here's what we have coming up for today. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happened against Northern Illinois, Nebraska's first win.
Yep.
We'll preview what's coming up with Louisiana Tech. Later, I got keys to the game, and we'll break down. We'll get predictions and all that stuff as well. We'll also talk to former Husker Eric Warfield, also Kansas City Chief, very good player back in his day. We'll chat with him. By the way, the question was answered that you asked me. Barron Miles.
Okay.
Barron Miles, that's what I said. Barron Miles, he's a little shorter, but he's a great cornerback for Nebraska.
Sure. I asked the question, who does he feel like who's the probably the greatest cornerback of all time?
Yeah, and I was going kind of modern.
Yeah.
Because if you go back in the 50s and 60s, you have some really good corners. Matter of fact, a couple of them in some Hall of Fames. But just talking about in that 90s era, that's pretty good. You had some high draft picks.
Yeah.
Barron Miles wouldn't have been a high draft pick because he was too small.
Yeah,
but he was tough. He was a dog.
Doug McDermott is one of the greatest college athletes or basketball players
3-time All-American.
Ever.
Yeah.
But in the NBA, he's a certified role player.
Yeah.
He plays his role.
He's not a journeyman, is he?
No. No.
How many teams he play for?
Is
there a number of teams you play for to make you a journeyman?
In a sense, that's one connotation.
Okay.
Let me count the teams first. Chicago, New York,
Indiana, San Antonio now.
San Antonio. I don't know. I don't think he played for OKC. No,
I think,
4 teams.
Who was he? He was drafted by somebody, then traded on draft night.
And
then 4 teams other than that. Okay.
Now watch this though.
Okay.
Deion Sanders played for how many teams?
3, I believe. Right. Atlanta, San Francisco. No, 4. Dallas.
Yeah.
He played for Dallas, but he's also a Hall of Famer.
Yes, but the reason why I say that is because I kind of feel like
Baltimore was the last team he played for.
I don't know. I mean, you can play for Charles Barkley played a lot of quality years on one team, and then towards the end of his career.
I mean, he played those years in Philly.
Yeah.
Probably had his best years in Phoenix. The team was good. Then, of course, Houston. He had those two as well.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think Doug a journeyman.
The only reason I would say a journeyman, and it's not
I know
a bad
you didn't mean
connotation.
no, it's not bad.
I meant when you You're like a backup, and you travel and play in a lot of places. They bring you in. You know what he is? Yeah. He's a sharpshooting specialist.
He is.
That's what he is. He's specialist.
Not a journeyman. If he go to a one more team, he's a journeyman.
Yeah. Also on the show today.
That's what I think.
Also on the show today, LJ. Larry Johnson. Not that Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson, the newest commit to Creighton, 6'4", 185-pound shooting guard out of Southern California Academy, which I had never heard of before.
I think it's a new prep school. It's new? Okay. I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, good.
Yeah. And we'll chat with him. Hey, you heard, bro, did you hear about the it's a documentary out.
Oh, yeah, but that fake school?
Yeah, man. I got to watch that. I got to watch that.
I remember that night.
But how do you come up with that?
I remember that night watching the parts of the game, and I was like, man, this team is really bad. And then the next day, they start talking about how the school's not real, and the kids weren't going to any classes.
How many games did they get to go play before they got busted?
I think just one. Well, the one that they played on ESPN was bad. Yeah. I think they played IMG maybe. Did they play IMG?
I think it was.
And they just got
run. But that's a story for the ages.
That's a crazy story. That's why 30 for 30s and those things are good.
Exactly.
For stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll do all that as well. I believe also his coach is going to be on too, right?
Yeah.
So we'll chat with his coach as well.
Yeah, Coach Julius V.
Julius
Vaughn.
I got Julius Von Hanslick.
Yeah.
Hanslick.
I don't think it's nothing
with a
special.
Z.
I don't think it's nothing special.
Hanslick.
I just think it's Hanslick.
How about Von though?
Yeah.
When your middle name is Elvis. No, I'm just saying. When your middle name is Von.
Yeah.
Von something like Von Erich. You guys know who the Von Erichs are?
Yeah. Jock Von.
You know who Von Erichs are? The Von Erichs?
No.
Professional wrestling. There was a family of brothers and their dad.
Okay.
Fritz Von Erich was the dad.
Yeah.
And then you had Kerry and David.
All right.
And all of them died.
Dang.
I think there's
one
of the brothers. One
stuff?
kid died. One of them, David, died in a hotel in Japan. He was out there traveling, wrestling. Kevin died.
That's crazy.
Might have killed himself. And then Kerry was the only one left.
Hey, I'm gonna look this up.
Look up the Von Erichs. There's actually a really good documentary about them.
Okay,
check it out.
I'm a wrestling fan too. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
Triple H.
All the
Hulk
big name
Hogan.
guys. Yeah. That's your 5 greats.
There you go.
Where's Rick? You said Ric Flair?
Nah,
Ric Flair is
he's top 7.
He is the greatest.
Top 7.
So you're talking about all the categories, right? Like baseball, you have a 5'2" player. He is the 5'2" player wrestling. Best talker, incredible showman, made everybody else better when they wrestled him.
Yeah.
Won multiple championships.
Right.
And you know what else he did?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Hey, you talking about the Rolex wearing.
That's right.
Diamond ring wearing. Kiss stealing.
Don't forget.
Wheeling dealing.
Private jet
limousine
flying.
riding. Jet flying. Son of a gun.
And he loved women.
Yeah,
man.
I love wrestling.
I was a big fan
of the Attitude Era though.
Yeah.
Not the after 2002.
Yeah.
I was just doing.
Yeah, I watched up until about 2005.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the end of mine.
No, I say 05, 06.
Yeah,
like
that's
when the
Rock,
remember
when WWE and WWF were really competing?
For sure.
I was watching it then. Yeah. I go back to like the late 70s before it became WWF or E. Okay. It was called Worldwide Wrestling.
Yeah.
And then you had, where I was living down in the South, you had Mid-South Wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
And then
My
you
dad
had
told me.
the NWA, which was over in like Atlanta area. And then you had the Texas Wrestling.
Yeah.
All of those. And it was crazy to watch, man.
Yeah, man.
It was crazy back then. My favorite wrestler as a kid was Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah,
okay.
Hard times.
Yeah.
I talk about hard times all the time.
Hey, man.
Dusty Rhodes. The American dream. The American dream.
Wow, it was an epidemic in my middle school where several kids were sent to the office for Stone Cold Stunners.
My favorite thing is when people would get in trouble for like putting a
my chair? Yeah. Oh, me.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, like my favorite stuff is
yeah.
when kids got sent to the office, like somebody put a figure 4 lock on them. Or, like you mentioned, like put a stunner on them or something. Like, you can't be doing that in school.
I was a part of that epidemic, bro.
Yeah, you can't be doing that in school.
Yeah.
So, Matt Rule gets his first win.
Yeah, that's big, though.
Against Northern Illinois. It was a scoregami.
Yeah.
You guys know scoregamis? 35-11, first time in a Nebraska game ever. Final score 35-11. I just want
to ask this, though. Was that?
Why don't you ask me a question?
And I'm not, and I'm asking the expert, and I'm not knocking anything about the win.
Okay.
That was definitely a must-need win. Anytime you start the season off, you got to get that first one.
Yeah.
Talk about NIU. Like, what type of, according to their season, do you see them making any noise that can benefit
No. They have a very good defensive line. They're extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
They have a quarterback in Rocky Lombardi that's been playing in college ball for 7 years and is not any good.
Right.
We saw that about him. They had a decent running back, a good tight end, but they just didn't have a good enough defensive line to handle Nebraska's. Nebraska's defense right now is number 2 in the country in run defense. Word. They're giving up 1.7 yards a carry and only 46 yards a game.
Man.
They are very, very good. Plus, they're rushing the passer. They're getting hits on them. This defense is playing high level.
Yeah.
But the offense, so they win the game 35-11.
Yep.
You look at it and you go, okay, great. But there were 5 possessions where they had 3 or fewer plays.
Okay.
So either 3 and out or they had a turnover in that one. So there was times where they were struggling. Even the first drive of the second half was a 3 and out. So
right.
they had a lot to get through. Heinrich Harburg in general.
Yeah.
How do you think he played?
Well, I thought he held it down.
Okay.
And the thing is, I say that because I remember the conversation you gave me. You said, knowing Matt Rule and the conversations you had with him,
right.
He's likely to roll with this guy unless he's hurt. You were exactly right on that. I feel like the backup quarterback held it down, but I still say you got to give Sims that one more chance.
I think Jeff Sims. I think he plays this week
because
they said that he was running.
But do you make a decision?
Well,
after
this
that?
is what I would make sure I did this week against Louisiana Tech. I'd play both quarterbacks at some point. They both would get in the game for me. They both would get in the game.
At this point, you need that.
So, and then the best one plays against Michigan the following week. That's the best way to do it. It makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're loaded on defense.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about their defense is, and I know you probably played on basketball teams like this before, where when the 5th guy comes out, 6th guy comes in, doesn't change what you do.
Yep.
7th guy comes in, doesn't change what you do. That's the way they are.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who comes in.
Yep.
They lost Cam Linhart, the kid who's a freshman, who had 2 sacks against Colorado. He went out of the game early. You didn't even realize there was a drop-off.
Exactly.
They're bringing in whoever off the bench, and all of a sudden you're looking at me going, well, it looks the same. That's what's special about the defense.
You were at the game, right?
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Now, would you say that the temperament, the vibe, the energy
from the fans? Whose vibe?
The team.
Okay.
With a different quarterback. Was it like that, or was it just next man up?
I think anytime you're having success, the vibe is good. But there was that stretch, like I said. So they had the first drive.
Yeah.
Second drive, sack, fumble, defense holds them to a field goal.
Yeah.
Third drive, they don't go anywhere. Fourth drive, they don't go. So they were struggling, and you felt kind of some murmurs in the stands about it.
Okay.
But at the same time, once they got going, people forget all that.
Right.
They remember the 35-11, which is great. And the greatest part about this game was going into the final drive.
Yep.
Northern Illinois only had 74 total yards. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
The garbage drive at the end, they got 75 yards.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you look at a team that gave 149 total yards.
Yeah.
And really 3 points.
Yeah.
With the garbage.
I just felt like it was one of those games where you kind of take a step back and you figure out what you want to build off of. Yeah. Who can get better and who's actually like sometimes you can like play to the level of your competition.
Oh yeah, and they didn't do that. They
didn't do that
for the most
I'm just
part.
saying from a specific from key positions.
Yeah, I give them credit because there were times in the game where the offense wasn't going, defense stayed, and they stayed with what they were doing.
Yeah.
They continued to try to run the ball, and then by the third quarter, they started wearing down Northern Illinois, and you saw Gabe Irvin, who is now out with his injury.
Yeah.
You saw Anthony Grant get going.
Yeah.
It really sucks that you lose 2 of your running backs to injury. You lose a freshman cornerback to injury coming off of that game. And none of them looked like they were really bad injuries during the game.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't tell yet from my perspective if Nebraska has gotten into his actual like flow. Like
I don't think so yet.
This is what we do.
I don't think so
Not yet.
I think they got to run the ball obviously whenever they play
for sure.
But Marcus Satterfield, the offensive coordinator, said this past week. He said we've got to throw the ball.
Yep.
We got right now only I think it's either 4 or 5 teams in the whole country throwing the ball fewer times a game than Nebraska.
Dang.
But and 2 of them are military academies, and they run the option.
But how much of that is the actual quarterback versus blaming
play calls too? I mean, it's play calls.
That's true.
They got a lot of they're calling a lot of runs for the quarterback.
You know what? I look at Nebraska, and this is like I'm not saying it's like a poor man's comparison, but I kind of consider Nebraska receivers like Julian Edelman. There's somebody.
I wish they had some Julian Edelmans.
Yeah, but I'm saying
wish
like
they had them.
they're the type of players where they can actually make plays if you put them in. If you put the ball in the spot they need to go to.
Yeah.
They need somebody to get them to where they need to be.
The issue they have, and you bring up a guy like Julian Edelman, was always in the right place.
Yeah.
Was kind of explosive. He could be in and out of his break.
Right.
And was clutch.
Yep.
we know that they have wide receivers who can do some of those things. We don't know how clutch they are yet.
Exactly.
We're not going to find out when they play Michigan against a really physical secondary and have to deal with that. We'll find a lot about them. But I hope in this week that Malachi Coleman gets an opportunity because this is let's go to Louisiana Tech now. And the scouting report with them. So there's two things you need to know about Louisiana Tech. One is Smoke Harris. Smoke Harris is the most dominant player on their offense.
I can't wait to watch.
Here's the funny part about it is he's kind of little. He got kind of a little pot belly. So when you see, you're like, that guy, and then he's quick, short area quickness. He doesn't get caught from behind. He's a kickoff returner, punt returner. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. Whatever you ask Smoke Harris to do, he does.
Okay.
He is the most electrifying person on their team.
What year?
Not even close.
What year is he?
6-year senior. 6-year senior. Here, listen to this. So he's got 24 catches.
Dang.
Nobody else on the team has more than 11.
Wow.
He is top 10 in the country in terms of current players playing right now in touchdowns in their career.
Dang.
So he's that good.
Yeah.
You got to stop him.
Right.
The other thing you need to know about them is they are undisciplined on defense.
Oh, okay.
Undisciplined.
Yeah.
You're going to get big plays because they're in the wrong gaps. They're going to try to jump things in the passing game. You're going to get long plays in that. They're incredibly undisciplined. They don't rush the quarterback very well. They've only got 7 sacks, 4 hurries.
Yep.
They have very few hits on the quarterback at all. They're a team that Nebraska should be able to dominate.
So what's the score? What's the score going?
Well, we don't do that to the end.
You're right.
You don't do score prediction to the end. What are you jumping ahead for? What are you doing?
I'm listening to you like,
no, man, you can't do that.
It's going to be like 48-4.
Here's some.
You can't even get 4 points, can you?
You can get two safeties. So here's some. So they've given up. So they've had 26 tackles for loss, which isn't bad in 4 games. It's pretty good.
For sure.
But they gave up 313 yards passing to North Texas.
My God.
They gave up 249 yards rushing to North Texas and 32 first downs.
This sounds like me when I'm playing Madden and I take all the gameplay settings
32.
off and I just put it on Novice and I just keep throwing.
It's novice. I never played a game before, but I'm sure you put it on the easy setting.
I do, bro.
I do what you need to do.
I do. I'm gonna keep it real.
So they've only got 5 interceptions in 4 games.
Yeah.
They've got 0 forced fumbles.
Yeah.
Again, this is a team that Nebraska needs to be able to take advantage of because their defense isn't very good and isn't very it's not sharp.
So we expect him to do that, but I don't want to drink that Kool-Aid like I always say, man.
Well, don't drink afterwards. Drink it afterwards.
All right, for sure.
One more thing. We're not quite sure about the starting quarterback for Louisiana Tech. Hank Bachmeier was the quarterback, used to be at Boise. He got hurt during the game.
Okay.
The backup came in and actually led them down 17 to tying against North Texas. They lost in overtime. So we'll see which one we get for that. Running back's okay.
Yeah.
Again, Smoke Harris. You don't want that smoke. You stop that smoke.
That's the tagline.
You beat them. You don't want that smoke. Nothing to do with the smoke. You don't want to do that. So, coming up next, we chat with Larry Johnson.
Yep.
Right? Larry Johnson, not Grandmama, not Larry Johnson, the Kansas City Chief.
Yeah.
But Larry Johnson, the basketball player who was committed to Creighton.
Grandmama, I used to want his haircut, bro.
It was a pretty good haircut.
It was.
So you old enough to remember him at UNLV?
No, I'm old enough to remember him play with Charlotte.
Bro, when he was at UNLV, he was bad mamma jamma. Because he was, he was thick.
Yeah.
And he playing on them skinny kids. Boy, they used to light people up.
For sure.
That UNLV team was good.
My
was really
son
good.
is 4 years old, and he know about Larry Johnson from Space Jam.
Sure. Larry Johnson right here. LJ, baby.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we'll have Larry Johnson, not that Larry Johnson, next here on Let It Fly Show.
Hey, what up? It's Josh Jones. I'm here holding it down for my man Michael Severe. He had, I said allegation. He had obligations to go do his thing with his sons at Central High School. They got a football game tonight, so I got you, Mike. But we are here with Larry Johnson, shooting guard, class of 24, Creighton's newest member of the team. Larry, what it do, man? What's good?
What's good?
Nothing, man. I just today the big day. You made your announcement a little bit earlier, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like? Why Creighton, and how quick was the decision made when you decided to commit?
Before I came on a visit, I was watching a lot of games, like the Marquette games, the Providence games. So I kind of had like a vision of what I was gonna do, but like when I came on a visit, me and McDermott kind of built like a good relationship. The players, like as soon as I got there, it was just like family. And we got in the gym, like we got straight to it. Like I probably got like 5 workouts in since I got there. So just like the grind and everybody just bringing me in, it just felt like family. like that was a big part of my decision.
So that was your first time in Omaha when you came here?
Yeah,
Did you test the town, or what was it like?
it was like I didn't expect it to be like tall buildings. Like I thought it was gonna be something else, but like
Put some respect on my city, fam. No, that's all good. That's all good.
yeah,
But from the perspective of all the work you put in,
yeah.
how does it feel to finally commit and earn a college scholarship, play at high D1 major basketball?
Yeah, like ever since I was little, like this is like what I dreamed of doing. So, like now that I just like committed, like even like before I committed, like earlier, like it was just crazy. Like it just seemed like a dream kind of, but it's just like a lot of like it's just like a I'm like relieved like now that I done committed.
For sure. Was
Yeah,
there a lot of people like asking like, where you gonna go, what you gonna do?
yeah, like it was like a lot of people from my hometown. They was calling like my uncle, my dad, my cousin, like blowing up their phone, like trying to see like where I was going to commit.
And
It was,
trying to tell you how they feel like you should fit in this program.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
a lot of that.
So who's some of the instrumental people in your life like that kind of helped you get to this point to make this decision?
My dad, he's been training me since I was little, like since I was young. Like we've been in the gym like like countless hours, like late nights, all that. Like my mom, she just been in my corner, like just guiding me, helping me make decisions. Um, yeah, that's really it. Like,
All right, cool. But what about so I looked on Rivals. I always go to Rivals, see what they talking about. You are 95th overall, fam. Do you
yeah,
feel slept on and got something to prove, or you think you're right where you need to be?
nah, they sleeping, but it's all cool though. We coming.
What's some of the personal goals you got to finish up your high school prep senior year?
I just I want to have like an undefeated season this year. I just want the game to get better. Just showing everybody kind of label me as like a downhill guy, like defend like high riser, but I can actually shoot the ball. So I really just want to show everybody shit that I can really shoot the ball.
So what about you kind of talked about instrumental people like your mom and your dad. You got any siblings? What's your family life like?
Yeah, I got a brother. He's 24, and I got a sister. She's 22, and like they've been there like throughout the journey too since I was supporting me at all my games, all that.
You play your siblings one on one and stuff like that growing up?
Yeah, I've been playing my brother since I was little. Like we would be in the backyard, like
Oh, that
talk,
means he used to get the best of you. I can tell.
yeah. I, when I got when I got to like middle school, like he couldn't more.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like same thing with my dad. Like me and my dad, we even was playing like ones. Like he just beat me for forever.
Your
But
dad can play ones.
yeah, probably when I got to like 10th grade, like it was over with.
That's what's up. Yeah, for me with my big brother, I think it was like eighth grade
Yeah,
for me. But that's because like we kind of grew close to be the same size, and I developed a jump shot.
yeah. That's
Speaking
how
of jump shot, how you do describe your game? Like if we was to say Larry Johnson, what's your game like?
uh, I'm a great teammate. Like there's a lot of people that want to play with me. Um, like just showtime. Really, like if you come into the game, you're gonna see a show. But I get my teammates involved. I'm a great passer, great shot selection. Like I'm like transition is scary. Like just downhill for real.
I like it. He said scary. I feel that. So you get most of your buckets in the open floor.
Yeah, pick
Can
and
you
roll.
guard? Can you guard? You lot.
Yeah, I guard the other team best player.
Hey, I got a funny question. If you was a 2K player right now, what would be your overall rating?
Mm,
Look
probably
at it.
probably an 84. Just
All
cause
right,
I'm
that's respect.
yeah, just cause I'm just starting off like getting on 2K.
That's what's up. You play the game at all?
Yeah, I played a game. I played Madden 2K. Yeah, I just played Madden 2K.
You got a gamer tag you want to throw out there to people?
King Quan 97.
Yeah, go play him. Please let me know if he like that or not. Hey, but as far as like speaking of pro players or whatever, who do you model your game after that's in the league right now?
John Morant, just because like
Okay.
he plays like fearless, like he don't care who it is, like he gonna play his game every night. And I watch a lot of John Wall. Like me and John Wall talk a lot. Like
Okay.
I'm right-handed, but I dunk and lay the ball up a lot with my left hand. Like that's like me and his similarity. Like we do the same thing. I watch Brad Bill. Um, I got an uncle that play overseas. Like that's who I like really like looked up to like coming up. Like his name Markeith Cummins.
Okay. I'm sure the people out there are gonna look him up. Hey, they gonna one thing about this Creighton Face Bam fam, they gonna look you up. They gonna
Yeah,
know a lot about you like they already know when you get here. Creighton
yeah,
got some of the best fans in the country, I promise.
yeah. I'm already know. I be conversating with like with a few of them like on Twitter and stuff like that. But
Yeah, for sure.
they cool for sure.
Yeah. And what about you watched that NCAA tournament Elite Eight game last year?
Yeah.
Man, was it a foul or no? Keep it real.
Say it again.
Was it a foul or no?
Uh, it was. It really could have went both ways, but it was a foul.
No doubt. Hey, I bet you it was a situation where you was like, ooh, I wish I could see myself there, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no doubt.
even like watching like just being on my visit and like watching like the Providence game, the Marquette game, like even we was watching the Arkansas game, like it was like a lot of plays where I could just see myself like even before I committed like just watching their game, like seeing how they move the ball, how much spacing it is, like it's just gonna be so easy. Like I can't wait to get like
Yeah, I
this.
feel it. I like that. I like how you kind of see what the team got now and how you
Yeah,
fit as that
yeah,
missing piece. I respect that.
yeah. And with me, like I think like I honestly feel like I'm like unstoppable getting downhill, just like but
Hey,
say
stand on that though, for real. Stand on
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. So I feel like the class that's coming in with me, like we have a lot of shooters, like they're not gonna be able to help for real. Like if they help, I'm kicking. Like it's gonna be crazy. Like
So you
just
trying to say you locking, you gonna play two way both sides of the ball?
yeah, like for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I respect that. Talk
Yeah,
about Coach V. What I know of him from what I looked up or whatever. He's a skills trainer first, but he's your head coach of your team.
yeah.
How has he helped you in your decision, but also help you prepare as a player?
Like I said, we like when I went on a visit, like we was in the gym. Like it's a lot of people saying like that I'm a downhill, like, but we was just talking about like my shooting, like just more so like him just believing in me and like just saying like we gonna check all the boxes when I get there. Like he's a great guy. Like can't wait to play for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Just random. This will probably be my co-host named Michael Severe. He was gonna ask this question.
yeah.
Is there anybody in your family named Larry Johnson, or you
My
named after
I'm
your dad?
actually a third, Larry Johnson the third.
Okay, so respect. He was talking about Charlotte Hornets and all
Yeah,
that type of stuff.
yeah. I watched a couple of his highlights and like I met him before, but nah, we not like family or nothing like that. Me
Oh,
and
respect. And you gonna make a name for yourself.
Joe.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, well, look, man, we ain't gonna take too much more of your time. It was a lot to get you even on a headset on our side. We apologize for that.
Yeah,
We appreciate you.
appreciate.
Hey, give the fans your social handles so they know how to find you on Twitter and IG.
My Instagram is the Larry Johnson underscore, and my Twitter is Larry Get Buckets.
We
And
gonna see, bro. Hey, you make me want to lace them up, man. Respect, respect, man. Hey, well, look, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, and we can't wait to see you when you play.
Let's do it. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, we got more for you coming on Let It Fly show after this.
All right, welcome back to the Let It Fly show. Josh and I are joined by former Husker and Kansas City Chief Eric Warfield, the guy that my wife calls the one with the pretty eyes. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate you taking the time and you coming in here. You hanging in Dallas now?
Yeah, I've been out there for about 8 years now. It's slowly growing on me. It's a different. Dallas is a different city.
Yeah.
Word.
You know, it's got a lot of things going on that I really haven't been accustomed to. You know, I literally just found out about a thing called with pineapples.
Word.
He said word like you know what it
No,
was.
I'm
The
saying
one thing I know about pineapples is not what you're talking about. I'm almost positive.
Okay, you might. What is it?
I'm not even gonna guess. Just tell me.
You tell us what it is.
So
And after this, I'll tell you what
it's a big part of the swinging community. So the people hang the pineapples over their doors, their house, the front door, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I
I didn't know about. I know the colors. I know they have the colors for that. Like if you are a certain color, then you swing. Never mind. So Dallas is the place you should go for vacation.
Hey, what brought you to Dallas though? Or you've been out there for a little while?
That's close to where I grew up at, which is Texarkana, Arkansas.
Yeah.
My brother's been there for 20 years. My sister's been there for about close to 20 years. So my mom's 2 hours away. So I just want to get close to home.
For sure.
So I've been in the Midwest since 94.
Yeah.
Who came to your house to recruit you when you were in
That
Texarkana?
was Tony Samuels and Coach Osborne.
That's pretty good. Getting Tony to come there.
How was Coach when he came to the house?
Coach was different. So he came to my basketball game, and
He loves that. He loves watching guys play basketball.
Hey, was you nice?
Could you hoop?
he can vouch for me. But I can hold my own.
Yeah, for sure.
I
For
do
sure.
pretty decent at basketball.
For
But
sure.
Coach Osborne walked into the gym, and it immediately just got quiet.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that many people from my area kind of knew who he was. But
Word.
everybody knew who he was, and it just went quiet. And all of a sudden, it's like my coach came over. Was like, man, I don't want to scare you in the moment, but you got a pretty big coach that's in here. So,
This is like 94?
yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like have fun.
Because they had already won a national championship?
Yeah, well,
Well, the 93
They had
going
one,
in.
yeah.
So 93 lose to Florida State.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Was the vibe kind of
Wow.
like hit the respect that he had back then was like Nick Saban before, like now this
pretty
now?
much, yes.
Word.
Yeah, Coach Osborne was that guy.
Yeah, okay.
Not as vocal and aggressive as
Yeah,
Nick
okay.
Saban.
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes in and doesn't say a word, doesn't smile a whole lot, and he gives that little hand wave. And
Yeah.
I think I had a few dunks that kind of stunned him, and he came to the house. Was like, man, I didn't know you could jump.
I
that
know he's an
high."
athlete.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
And he was happy to have me on board. But that was a good moment for me because at that time, I can't think of the guy's name. It might have been Ford that was at Arkansas. And I didn't want to leave home because I had never been away from my mom. And so I figured if I go anywhere for college, I'd either go to Oklahoma or I'd stay there in Arkansas.
Someplace close, yeah.
yeah.
So Danny Ford, who used to be at Clemson?
Yes.
Was it Arkansas? Okay.
Yes, and so I mean, heck, I guess exposure's exposure now.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
word, yeah.
So they had offered me some money and offered my mom some money for me to go to Arkansas. So my mom was religious. I hate that she was religious at that time.
Y'all, the bag was big like that. Yeah.
So we can't be taking money.
He kept it real, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, and I think it was like 75 grand. I'm like, ooh, that's
Ooh, that's big money back then. Yeah.
Back then,
Yeah,
heck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
for
like,
sure.
she was so. And Coach Osborne just took her by complete surprise to where she was completely sold. I don't care where we could have gone,
Yeah.
or seen, what they could have told her. They would have given her. She was sold on the way he presented himself and how he would look after me during my years in college.
Yeah.
And would promise her. He made a promise that I would get my education.
Was there any type of league talk though? Like, did you say, "Hey, I can get your son to the league"?
No, there wasn't that talk. I honestly, even as a kid, I never thought I'd make it to the NFL.
Dang.
You know, I was just one of those just flying by the seat of my pants and just enjoying sports as it came.
Yeah.
You know, I was good at track. I was good at football. I was good at basketball. And the thing that kind of shocked me the most is that I want to say a month after Coach Osborne came, I got 2 visits from baseball coaches,
Dang,
and they wanted to recruit me to play pro baseball.
dang.
I was like, man, I can't hit a baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, I can run and catch a ball, but I can't hit.
Yeah.
And they was like, well, you got enough talent where we can teach that. So
Yeah.
just put you in a minor league and
So you almost didn't go to Nebraska. You almost didn't go to Nebraska. It's that close. How much they offer you for signing bonus? You remember?
I don't even remember.
It wasn't enough to not go to
Yeah,
Nebraska.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Right. You know, that story you tell is the same story I've heard from 50 former Huskers. Kenny Wilhite tells the same story. Once his grandma talked to Tom Osborne.
Yeah.
It was like, she was like,
Yeah.
he just had something with parents, huh?
Man, it's you coming from inner cities and not having that father figure around, and to give you that proper guidance and show you all the things that I didn't have that dad or uncles to go out and play catch with and show me how to play sports. I was just out in the streets playing with the kids in my neighborhood.
Sure.
So,
no AAU.
none of that.
Neighborhood U. That's what it was. Yeah.
And I look at these kids nowadays and like they got everything. They get to go city to city, state to state, and compete against all these other kids. And at elite levels, and I never had that. My competition came straight from high school.
Yeah.
So, but it was good enough to where it got me, a good college career and a pretty good NFL career.
Yeah.
So.
What about when you get to Nebraska your freshman year? What type of I'm not gonna say. I mean, some coaches change up, from the home visit to the actual practices. What type of coach was Coach Osborne? Like, was he a drill sergeant, the man? Like, what made him so great as a coach?
So he doesn't change at all. The thing that was the best about him is, I don't know how many kids we had on the team, probably 200 or close to it. Mm-hmm. Coach Osborne took the time to get to know each and every individual kid on that, whether he was a walk-on or whether he was a scholarship kid.
Knew your name, knew your parents' name.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't understand like a guy of his stature would take that kind of time to get to understand each and every individual kid.
Yeah. What was it like that team? Crazy. You arrived, that team stacked, right?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared when I first got to Nebraska.
Really?
Because I saw guys like the position I was playing.
Yeah.
Was Eric Stokes and Tony Veland and Toby Wright.
Yeah.
Man, these guys are jacked up.
They were.
Yeah. Veland still walking around like that.
Yeah.
No
and
doubt.
Toby Wright didn't even like he should be playing safety, like he should be a linebacker.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
And then he eventually was.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't belong here.
Right.
I know I'm athletic, but as far as like size and stature, like I don't belong with these kind of guys. And all of a sudden, you get thrown into the mix, and then you figure out like, maybe I do. And I don't know how much of my contribution led to the championships that we had, but I was glad to be a part of it. We had some great teams, and it's I hate that we don't get to talk the way we should. And I think like when a lot of people mention the top teams, I want to say they mentioned Johnny Rodgers' teams before they mentioned
71.
ours.
Yeah. Right.
And then it goes to the Miami Hurricanes teams just because they had so many guys that played in the NFL.
Yeah, but you were on one of the greatest teams of all time, though.
Exactly. So but that's what
I statistically read that and looked it up myself.
Yeah, and so we don't get enough.
One game.
And I was assuming that we would get like some sort of a 30 for 30 by now.
Well, it would have happened. So it would have happened.
Just talking to this dude
if LP doesn't die in prison.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you,
I think
this is what I know for a fact. I was close with the 30 for 30 producer, okay? I was really close with her. We DM'd all the time. And what happened was Showtime got the LP rights first, right? And Showtime did their piece. And they were like, okay, that's fine. ESPN will still do it, but what we need to do is we'll just move the LP stuff out. Then he passes in prison. And they're like, well, we can't then leave that out, and that's why they moved on for him.
Why take him
out? They had all the because Showtime had already done it. His whole life had been told already in a piece.
Word.
So 30 for 30 didn't want. It was really good. Yeah,
running.
I think it's Running for My Life or whatever it was called. And so that's why they said they didn't do it. They had everything shot. Yeah. They shot so much good stuff.
So is it ready to be put out still?
They could. It's still in the can. They could put it out. They could put it out.
But so you go out and you do a story over Florida, and they kind of got a similar situation.
But that was done by them. That wasn't done by ESPN. That was done by Florida. That's why they didn't cover any of the bad stuff because that was them doing it.
And that's why I was disappointed when I watched that show. Like
they didn't cover any of the really bad stuff.
You give this entire show and talk about all the good things that happened in Florida and not a whole lot of the bad stuff.
That's why they call it Untold, which I want to hear the Untold stuff.
Exactly.
And they covered none of that. But that's how the Manziel one was exactly the same. Yeah. Those aren't 30 for 30s. Those are new. And so they didn't go over all the stuff that happened with him in Cleveland either. They just passed it over.
I'm waiting on that 30 for 30.
It would be incredible.
I was telling him, like, no, they got to put this out.
There's a conversation in there that was recorded between who was the woman the girl that accused Christian. They had an interview with her and Christian and the guy she married, former player, all together. Derek Brown, they had them all together.
Man, that's deep.
Wow.
Yeah, you know how crazy that would be?
Wow.
Yeah, and they have that in the can, but they just never got around to doing it.
So how is it playing on a national championship team? Like that journey, that process, like, I mean, I know what 94 you didn't like contribute as much as 97, right? But like how was those experiences winning it all?
So the funny thing about this, like when you're on a team like that, you don't even realize how good you are.
Dang.
Because like our best competition came against ourselves, like
In
practice.
practice.
Yeah.
I've been there.
cool,
I've been
yeah.
there.
We knew our offense was unstoppable.
Right.
So, but they had to go up against us every day.
Yeah.
And the same with our offense, thinking it's like, we got a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
They gotta contend with us. So
Yeah.
when it came down to goal line at the end of the day, Coach Osborne had to step back a few steps.
Dang.
Because that's when it got real grimy.
For sure.
And that was man, I can't think of my guy's name. That's his old age kicking in.
Yeah.
Our defense coordinator.
Charlie McBride.
McBride.
Yeah.
Charlie loves it.
Yeah, he did.
You know, that goal line stance at the end of practice, we would sit there and it's balls to the walls.
Yeah.
And it was, I want to say almost every week there was a fight.
Yeah.
That's not Coach Osborne's thing, but Coach McBride loves it.
He was fine with that.
The tempo is up.
Yeah.
The bullets are flying. This is
Yeah.
all out warfare here.
Tenniper versus McBride.
Yes,
Those two guys.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but and the thing is that we knew how far we can take it. We're not going to sit there and try to take Tommy's head.
Yeah,
off.
but it was
He's our-
offense versus defense.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tommy's out there going to give you a real
I know.
look.
I asked him before about
Scott's
how that
gonna
was.
give you a
He
good
said
look.
they
Yeah.
didn't take no prisoners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Silver
they
sharpens
want
steel.
to be at their best when it comes to game day. So they don't want to go half speed.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, we don't want you to go half speed either because we want the look that we're going to get from these other teams' best.
Sure.
So
What do you think would happen in 97 after you guys win your bowl game? Scott makes the plea saying, hey, the championship should be ours and it should be going to Coach Osborne his last year. What did you think in that nighttime when you guys were waiting to find out?
Yeah, I got questions about that.
Okay, so my whole thinking, understanding to that is like, the playoffs obviously hadn't started back then.
Yeah.
And I've had these arguments with Charles Woodson back when I was working
my
out.
father-in-law, bro, he was a Michigan fan. Said y'all had no chance.
At all.
That's what he
whatever.
said. That's what Charles probably said.
And I take my hat off to Charles for an excellent career that he's had.
Yeah.
Outstanding defensive player. But they didn't know.
Yeah.
We are a ground and pound team.
Yeah.
I think they had one of the top passing defenses in the league, so in the country. So they didn't have a chance against us. And then they go out and play Ryan Leaf, and they barely win the game. We go out and play Peyton Manning and this high flying offense, and we stomp these boys.
Yep.
So. But it's hard to tell because you don't actually get to line up against them and play. But I just wish we'd have had that moment to really go out and prove ourselves.
I know,
them.
man. I wish Nebraska, and we're gonna talk about the teams today, still had that energy for the rivalry because I feel like that can be its own bowl game of itself, like a talent of the untold or something like that. It'd be a huge storyline. Man, I'm glad I get to speak to somebody that was actually a part of it because not being biased of a actual like Husker fan, because I am a Husker fan. Like I put the stats aside each other and it aligned exactly the way you said. That's just me though.
That's all I can say.
Shout out to Coach Ice and his Darrell.
I don't believe that they would have been able to stop you guys running the ball.
I don't either.
Right. I believe they would have gotten some stuff done through the air a little bit.
True.
Right. But I mean, it's probably a 6 or 7 point line that you guys favored. I mean,
I agree.
just comparing everything, and I'm completely out of it. I wasn't living here. Hey, I grew up a Penn State fan, so I unbiased. You guys would have been at least touchdown favorite.
I agree.
Based off of and score comparisons too. You got to look at what you guys did against similar opponent.
Y'all was running the numbers up.
Yeah. I don't. It's no doubt.
So it's 97, 98, or when was that time when it's like, okay, coach come to you and say, hey, you got a shot at the league. Like, what was your mindset from then? And how did that conversation go with your mom, who decided to take a chance on Coach Osborne when you was in high school?
So again, my thoughts never.
Not even then at the end of your career.
That's crazy.
Not even by your senior year, you weren't thinking about it.
Man,
The scouts not coming and saying anything. We
I'm gonna have my
we
son
like
take
Eric.
your mindset.
That's when it happened. When a scout actually came to me and said, "Hey, I think you have a chance at going in the late first day or the second day."
Oh wow, okay.
Because I was just so caught up in the moment of being a student athlete and playing basketball at the rec.
For sure. That was your thing.
I played basketball at the rec center every single day.
Dang.
I'm glad you didn't get hurt,
practice?
man. That'd
Oh,
be the
I know.
worst. I'm so glad you didn't get hurt.
I go from football practice straight to the hoop courts.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that was me every day. So I never had a dream of playing in the NFL. If anything, I thought I had a chance at running track at the Olympics because I was good at hurdles.
Yeah.
And I was a good high jumper. But the NFL, I didn't think I was one of the top 22 guys on our entire team with the Huskers.
So you felt like, how can I have that shot?
Yeah.
Man.
And so, I just felt like I was just an athlete.
Y'all
out
was
there.
so nice you didn't feel like using the top 20.
But we had some dogs,
I
man.
know, man. It's crazy.
Like our front seven was so fun to play behind because
Yeah.
those boys caused ruckus
Yeah,
up front.
For sure.
multiple NFL
Yes.
years and multiple draft picks. And,
Yeah.
I mean, even guys you don't, because I guess Warren would have been just a freshman in '97. Was Steve a freshman?
Yep.
So you had young guys too. Yeah, young guys in everything from a freshman all the way
Yeah.
up to the guys who were fifth-year seniors.
And so I don't know what Coach Osborne did to the guys to have us play so well and be so motivated to go out in games like that. Because you look at that Miami game where we go out and beat up on Hall of Famers Ray Lewis and Warren Sapp.
I know.
And punish these guys.
Yeah.
And then we go out against a Peyton Manning and Danny Warfield and his high-flying offense. And a lot of our guys didn't get the big NFL recognition like a lot of these other guys. Grant had a great NFL career. Mike Rucker had a pretty good NFL career that came from
Jay Foreman.
Jay Foreman.
Yep.
Mike Brown had a pretty good
Oh yeah,
good run.
definitely. Hell, even Ralph had 9 years in the league.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
So we had some dogs on that team. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like Coach Osborne just has a way, and he doesn't yell. Yeah, we know he doesn't cuss.
No.
Daggum.
Yeah.
Daggum.
He might turn the color of this bottle every now and then. That's when you know he's mad. So it's like, and you never want to see that part of him, but it rarely happens. And I think the only time it does happen is when we can have fights at practice with each other.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, he's just one of those calm, cool, collective guys that he gets the best out of his players just by understanding who they are individually, and it's almost like that grandparent you don't want to disappoint.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all respect them so much you don't want to let them down.
Exactly.
I got a question about the current Huskers. I know we're getting kind of close to time. 2017 to now, there's been a drought where the Huskers haven't been close to being above or even a 500, right? Why? Or what do you think the circumstances are?
It's a tough job here to be a coach. Being here in Nebraska, we have the best facilities. I think.
Oh, it's
We put lots of money into the facilities because we don't have beaches here. We don't have pro teams here. We don't have the best weather here. We don't have a lot going on within these two cities of Lincoln and Omaha.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's hard to sell that to a kid, and it's hard to get a kid to come out here when they see, pro teams in these other states and these cities that are close by, or these big name players that come back. Like I hate to see, I watch Colorado, and it's like they get a free concert because these rappers want to go out there and be there.
You want to hang out with Deion.
You got all these athletes that want to be out there.
Yep.
But it's a good sell for the kids.
Yeah, but I got a question to that. This is just me asking a person who's a two-time national champ and actually played for one of the greatest coaches ever. Are we hung up on the past? Do we need to change the culture?
Yeah, I think we've tried many times, though. We just haven't had that right hire. And I think we all felt like Scott was the right person.
Yeah.
I still love Scott to this day.
For sure.
Things just didn't work for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about Rule to say that he has what it takes. But I like the pieces that he's brought in so far.
Yeah.
We are at least competing, outside of what Sims has done personally with the turnovers. And I think that's a mental thing for him that somebody, that he could fix.
Yeah.
He has a chance to be a really good quarterback, and we have with him focused like that. We could be a really good team. Man, we should easily be 2-0 right now.
Should be 2-1.
3-2. I think we beat Colorado.
You think you beat Colorado
Oh,
if he doesn't fumble?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think our
defense
defense
wore
gave
down.
up. I
It
think
wore
the
down.
defense gave up. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
our offense is not doing anything.
Yeah, they
We
wore
turned it
down.
all over.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Definitely 2-1. You win the Minnesota game easily. You have the late fumble right,
Yep.
by Anthony Grant that turned the game, and then you have the interception at the end. So definitely 2-1. But it's tough. Let's talk about Kansas City because there's only about 3 or 4 NFL cities that are close to being college-feeling cities. I think Kansas City, Green Bay for sure. Was it a little bit easier, you think, going to a city like Kansas City to play coming out of Lincoln?
For me, it was because it's only a 2-hour drive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
You come back to the
Yeah.
You come back to Lincoln.
Come hang out, yeah.
Look at Phil over there like,
at that time, I was dating a girl that was still in Lincoln, so I had to be back almost every weekend.
No
So
doubt.
or she came out there, so it was an easy transition for me, and having same colors.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was in little league starting football, every team I've ever been a part of.
Red.
Yours were red?
wow.
That's good in some cities, not good in some.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I mean, but you played with. I got a question about Dante Hall,
Yep.
Cheetah. What's the difference?
Speed.
And who faster?
Oh, Cheetah.
Cheetahs, yeah.
I've never seen speed like him, man.
Dang.
And his transition to the field is you bring in Olympic top speed.
Yeah.
That
Olympic
can,
speed.
Yeah,
Damn,
that
that's
can
different.
make it work on the field. Because he's got good hands. He's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
But he's a playmaker. He's an athlete, and when
sure.
he uses that speed to his advantage, and man, to see what he did in that first game, what is it, 200 yards?
Yep.
That's easy work for Tua.
Yeah. Do you go back to KC with the new? I mean, it's probably like, I mean, how many people are still there from when you were around versus like
in the front office and
With
stuff?
front office and
Staff-wise,
stuff,
there's
yeah.
a lot. So
Yeah.
I mean, I go back every year. We have an alumni game every year, and funny you mentioned Dante because this year he's getting inducted.
Dang.
Into the Ring of Fame.
He is a reason aside from you playing because you played for Nebraska. Why I became a Chiefs fan.
Yep. So
Legend.
that's my golf buddy, and we play.
Is he?
We play about 7-8 times a year. So
Sure.
I'll be out there for that game.
You got your golf attire on now, low key.
came straight from the course.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
For
Ain't
sure.
nothing wrong. Let me ask you before you let you go. When you start looking at what the game has become, do you like what the professional game has become? Because it really makes it hard on the defense, man. All the advantages go towards the offense. Whether you can hit the quarterback, you can hit wide receivers high or low.
Like,
I mean,
I've had conversations with teammates and to the positions that they are in. I'm okay with the change because I've got some guys that are like mentally unstable.
because of concussions and stuff. Okay,
and
yeah.
I've got some guys that physically that can barely get around. So I understand protecting the shield. It sucks when you see like a lot of those calls. It's like we got guys that are in the Hall of Fame just because they used to go out there and clothesline guys.
Yeah, Earl
Yeah,
Campbell,
Ronnie
yeah.
Lott and all those guys.
Yeah.
Jack Tatum. So
Gosh.
and today's football it wouldn't work.
No, they'd arrest you right
And
now.
it takes a lot of the excitement out. When you coming across the middle, there's no fear now.
Yeah.
Because you can't really get hit.
Yeah.
So a lot of the big plays are in play, and it adds more excitement when those big plays are coming into play. So I get it, and you're trying to protect the league, you're trying to protect the players. So
and protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
The quarterback's
Oh,
the most,
that's-
the stuff they do to protect the quarterback now,
yeah,
man. it's
that's something. I saw the when you grab them by the waist and you kind of sling them down like. That's not even a tackle.
No,
I
it's
wanna
a
call
throw.
that.
Yeah. And you can't put your full weight on them,
that
and you
too,
can't.
yeah.
I got one more question. What do you think about the whole Deion Sanders Colorado saga? Like from your perspective?
I support it because I like what Deion's doing. I hate that he had to play against us this year and
no
get
doubt.
the victory, but man, Deion's just out there being who he is, and his personality and his character is basically coming to fruition in the cameras.
Yeah.
And his kids have to be. I had no clue they would turn out to be the athletes they are.
Wow.
Seeing them not to say that they don't have the gene, but for them to go HBCU and then to do the things they're doing now, I never thought that would happen.
Yeah. I didn't think you could take 67 new kids and bring them in the summer and come together like that. It's never been done before.
But Shador is playing.
He's playing great.
Good ball.
Yeah.
He's playing some.
And then
good
Shiloh on the other side, forcing fumbles, running back stuff for touchdowns. I mean, they're contributing. But
Yeah.
Travis Hunter being out now is going to be tough for them.
It is, and take my hat off to Champ Bailey.
Yes.
Dion.
Yep.
Two-way
Charles
guys.
Woodson.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy play every snap like
Not
this.
130.
Won't happen.
I've never seen it either.
Dang.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it,
Thanks, man.
man.
Thank you very much.
Man.
We appreciate
Sure.
it. We'll come back with more as we close down the show here on Let It Fly Show.
All right, man. Talk about it.
All right, so we got to get keys, right? We got to do
Yeah.
our keys. We do keys every week. This is keys to beat Louisiana Tech. The first one you already know. We don't want no smoke.
Yeah.
You got to stop Smoke Harris.
know.
Smoke
Yeah.
Harris is everything to
You
this
low-key
team.
said he bad built,
He is kind of got like a little pot belly. I've never seen anybody built like this cat. He's about 5'9.5".
For sure.
Blinding quickness.
Yeah.
But got the little belly.
Yeah.
Got a little butt kind of
But-
stick out.
but
You know,
be
kind of walk
ballin',
like
but
this
be
a little
ballin',
bit.
but
But
be
he's a baller.
ballin'.
Yeah.
For sure, for
Scott,
sure.
stop. We don't want no smoke.
Yep.
You got to slow him
Yep,
down.
yep.
Stop him. If
Stop
you stop
Smoke.
Smoke Harris, you stop
Smoke.
them. They have nothing else really explosive on their team.
sure.
The other one is take advantage. I mentioned this to you too. They have a lack of discipline on defense.
Yeah.
You watch them play.
No,
Sometimes
it's beyond the lack, bro.
it's a bad lack of
Yeah.
defense, yeah. So what they
Yeah.
do on defense a lot of times is they're very aggressive.
Yeah.
But they get out of their gaps.
Right.
A lot of times you'll see them in the secondaries miss tackles. That's why North
Yeah.
Texas had so many yards. So take advantage of that. I like to see Nebraska
Yeah.
try to get deep this week.
yeah, our quarterback should at least have 200 yards.
I don't know about that, but I would
Yeah.
like to see it. I'd like to see it. I think we should have at least 250 yards rushing against them.
Okay.
And then Malachi Coleman,
Yeah.
I'd love to see him. 6'4",
Yeah.
200-pound kid. Get down the field. Let's
Yeah.
throw it deep.
For sure.
Exploit the fact that they're
right.
not disciplined
Yeah,
on
yeah,
defense.
yeah, yeah,
They're going
yeah.
to come up for that play
Right.
action passes. Go deep on them. And then the last one is I want to see the special teams have a complete day.
Yeah.
No missed extra points. No missed field goals. No catching the punt inside the 5-yard line
Yep.
like what happened last week. None of that stuff.
Yep.
And maybe even have a big return.
For sure.
On punt or kickoff return.
Yeah, give me one.
Just give me one
Yeah,
perfect
just
day on
give me
special
one.
teams.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. What's your
sure.
score prediction?
Ah, man. Just with the way
After I told you how bad Louisiana
I know,
Tech
I was
is.
thinking
which-
about that. And first, I got to say, the only reason why I said what I said on 200 yards
Oh, yeah.
throwing.
I'd
it
love to
just-
see it.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that figuratively to say that that's how bad the defense is.
That's how bad they could be. Yeah. I hope they
think
do it.
I think Nebraska, I'll say it'll be closer than what I want to predict.
Okay.
So I'll say 21 14.
Oh, my. If it's a 7-point game, bro, that place is going to be people are not going to be. I got 34.
we're
14. I
talking
got
about-
30. I got 34-14.
Nah, man.
That's mine. It's a 20-point line. I got 34-14 for
Okay.
my score.
All
If
right.
it's, I'm telling you, bro, if it's 21-14,
Yeah.
that place is going to be miserable to be at.
Don't shoot the messenger.
It's going to be bad, bro. It's going to be bad.
Don't shoot the messenger.
And as always, remind you, never a bad time for Omaha Steaks.
You know it's not, man.
I just sent my uncle, who lives right there on the state line of Louisiana and Mississippi in Pearl
Right.
River. I sent him this tips and sirloin and tenderloin box.
Man.
It's got 6 steaks in it. It's got these tenderloin tips in it, all the stuff. I sent it to him. Great price, free shipping.
Yep.
Great deal. It's never a bad time to either get or
Yeah.
give Omaha Steaks.
Yep, Monday, Tuesday. I told you Saturday
Monday,
love.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
There you go, man.
I told you,
Omaha Steaks.
Alexander O'Neal was a pimp. Straight pimp.
We
Them
love
suits.
you, Omaha Steaks, for sure.
No doubt about that. Josh, take us away.
Hey, it's Josh Jones here with my man Michael Severe. You know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly show.